Well, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have had the 2022 BMW M440i Gran Coupe for a whole week now. We're gonna give you our review of it after driving it a full tank of gas and one whole week. First off, we're gonna take a quick look at the spec we had. This is a really sweet spec overall. $67,000. It's finished off in a beautiful Brooklyn gray exterior paint. And then as we move to the interior in a second, you're gonna see the Tacora red. But we got the red brake calipers on it, blackout everything, and then the really cool satin trim. And then the inside real quick, you can see the red leather. This has been a very cool car to drive. So let's hop back into this thing, do some launch control, have some fun, and see what it's all about. All right, so we are now in the M440i. So we put about 300 something miles on this car. Let's go over our complaints with it first.
All right.
And then we'll do a little bit of the fun stuff. We will do launch control. I'll do it, then you'll do it.
I haven't done it yet.
And then we'll go over all the fun things. So what are your complaints with this car?
Well, let's work our way back to front.
All right.
And the only thing in the back is really the back seats here. It's a little bit tight getting in and out. And then I was able to be in the back. We were riding around town. So I got a little bit of city driving in the back seats, and it's okay. I'm 5'10", and I was comfortable around town. I don't know if I'd want to go on a long highway trip in it, but it's definitely, I mean, they're usable seats, don't get me wrong. They're just, it's a little bit on the tight side. And then getting in and out is a little bit hard, just depending on, you know, headroom and the angle of the door. It's a little bit close to the wheel. So the back of the seats are a little bit, a little arched. So that would be my complaint. It's not bad.
I don't know if the 3 Series would be bigger or not.
Yeah.
But the fact that you do get so much space with a hatchback though.
Yeah, so the flip side of that is you have the hatchback, you can fold these seats down, you could even fit like a small bike in there. It's a lot more usable than just a standard trunk. So it's nice to see that. I mean, they are usable. You could have 3 people back there if you really needed to, but I think that's it for the back seats.
What are your other complaints then?
The only other complaint for this BMW would be the climate controls. They're really cool, finish off in brushed aluminum. However, we have 2 buttons here. And we have the gesture control as well. But we have 2 buttons here for obviously turning up the temperature, and you can't skip. If you want to go from 70 degrees to 90, you have to go 71, 72, 73, all the way up to 90. Either tap it or hold it. So there needs to be like some kind of slider bar that they've had in other BMWs.
I think that'd be best for all the Beamers, because tap, tap, tap is gotta go. I like the roller dials or that touch thing.
And
definitely need to do that.
Over the week that we've had this car, it's been 75 out, it's been 40 out. So we've been going.
It was 25 the other day.
Yeah, it was 25 this morning, and now it's like 60 something. But we've been going back and forth through it, so it's been a little bit annoying to do that. But aside from that, there's really no other complaints unless you have
my
any.
complaints. So Lauren and I were shopping all day Saturday with this.
Yeah.
We went to like 10 different stores. We have 2 water bottles in here. We were drinking our waters all day. Every time we stopped, she had to take a water bottle out and grab her phone, which was in the wireless phone charging area.
Here?
And then every single time you gotta take your water bottle out to get your phone out, and then when you get back in the car after you come out of your store, you gotta take your water bottle out, put it back in there. Her phone happened to be about dead, so she was using that the entire day. That got annoying. The only other thing, the gesture control for volume, I actually like doing. I actually used it. But the thing that annoyed me is many times I would either say something or wipe my hand and it would mute the audio and mute the radio. That drove me crazy. I did it like 6 times.
Now there could be a setting that we haven't figured out.
I'm sure
possibly,
there is a setting, but
like a voice recognition, but
that annoyed me a little bit. Aside from those minor little real nitpicky things,
oh yeah, that's nothing.
I've enjoyed it. And one of my favorite things is the fact that this thing's fast.
Well, it's the same engine as your Supra.
Yeah, you got the B58. It's got a lot of power and torque, and the fact that it's got the ZF 8-speed and the xDrive all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I mean, BMW makes performance cars, and especially being the M440, this car has been fun, and I really enjoyed it on the Saturday when we had it all day in the city. I had it in Eco Pro and automatic, using the cruise control, using all the tech. And then whenever I wanted to have a little bit of fun or merge into somewhere, I could just either step on it or put it in sport mode and use the paddles. And it was actually like, wow, this is a fun car to drive.
Yeah, so it's really cool how you have more of a compact sedan, that at the same time you get that performance. So if you're not looking for something crazy performance oriented,
I found this to be this is like the perfect daily. Like it really can do so much. Speaking about what it can do, so I'll keep the transmission into the sport automatic. Traction controls in the sport.
So are you going to use the paddles?
Well, no.
No, okay. What is the 0 to 60 on this? It's got to be the low 4s.
4.4 seconds.
Hey.
It's quick. Like, the launch is so fun.
I know, right?
I really think this car is just the best daily. Like, I just enjoyed using it all day long because you can just have that blend. Like, I was leaving a store the other day, had to get into some traffic because there was so much traffic. Floor it with the all-wheel drive and everything, it just goes where you need to go. Yeah. And then normal cruising, we'll get on the highway in a second after you launch it real quick. But yeah, that's kind of my initial take. I guess you can talk about highway driving in a second, but
all right,
why don't you launch it just because this thing's been a heck of a lot of fun.
All right, so my turn to experience launch control. I don't get to do launch control in too many vehicles, so this will be fun. Yep. So it's all set up and ready to go?
Yep.
So just mash it and go?
Yep. Yep.
Wow. Launch control active on the heads-up display. You know, it's quick, and I feel like it's quick maybe under, 40, 50 miles an hour.
To like 0 to 60 is pretty good. Aside from that,
yeah,
it's normal performance.
It felt like after that it was just kind of getting up to highway speed.
Yeah, but it's cool to have that blend, and then back in eco mode, it's just a comfortable, luxurious car.
Yeah, and you can tell there's a huge throttle response when you go into eco. Obviously, you're trying to save some MPG.
Yeah,
but that was pretty cool.
I think, that's one of my favorite, because for me, I really want...
We're getting the wave there.
Okay, real quick, I guess we'll segue to that.
Yeah.
This thing gets so many looks.
It does.
That is the second person today who has waved to this car, said something. We had our neighbors who, they were impressed with it and everything, and just a lot of people seem to really like it.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, it's a good looking car, especially with this spec. I think the gray is what really sets it off, just because it has a really luxurious style to it, being finished off in gray.
The profile's really sweet.
Yeah.
Being the Gran Coupe, it's that sedan, but you got the coupe-y rear end.
Right.
So it's a looker. Like, people, they seem to like it. I like looking at it too. It looked really good in our driveway.
The front end, I think, is what people are going to be most controversial about.
Not everyone likes it.
Not everybody likes it.
But I personally, I don't have a problem with it. I think it does look pretty cool.
I think it looks better on the M cars.
For sure.
So let's go into sport real quick as we merge onto the highway. Well, we need to merge.
I love the thud.
Even coming around that turn there, I mean, you can feel the body roll because I guess the suspension isn't too tuned like some of the M cars.
It's good enough. It's not, it's not crazy stiff or anything.
But, I mean, that's fine there.
So we went over looks, performance, back to highway now, because I did a lot of highway on Saturday and you did a lot on Sunday.
Yeah, so
adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, I think it is just enough technology to make this just a really good, techie new car without being overboard. It's got enough, self-driving things in it without being too annoying.
Yeah. And I haven't been in too many vehicles that have this, and if we have, we're not really able to use it or
I use it
really
in my
showcase.
Supra all the time for 2 years.
So for me, I think this is a really good system. It's really easy to use. There's a lot of buttons over here, but honestly, I've only been using mainly the middle one here.
It's super simple.
It's really easy to use, and activate. And the steering, I found myself kind of just cruising with my hand right here because it'll do the steering for you.
The steering assist is cool.
Yeah.
Because one thing I noticed is if I'm grabbing my water bottle, I can grab it, take my hands off the wheel. Not to say you should technically take your hands off the wheel, but I can take my hands off the wheel enough to open it up, take a sip, put it back before it starts yelling at me to put my hands on the wheel. And instead of driving with my knee or anything.
One thing that you found too is if you have your hands off the wheel for a long period of time, it'll turn red and the car will actually start to slow down and brake, which I think it's a really cool safety feature because let's say for some reason you fell asleep, the car's not going to keep going, or come to a coast. It actively brakes, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if every vehicle does that.
Probably.
But they could.
I showed that in my quiet, the ASMR POV video.
Okay.
But also, it shows depictions of the cars in front of you to the left of you.
Yeah.
And if there's a motorcycle, it shows a motorcycle. If there's a big truck or a box van, it shows a box van. If there's a car, it shows a car. Yeah, so I really like that aspect too of it.
And while we're out on the highway, let's just talk about even loud trucks.
Yeah, big
passing like
tires.
That. It's aside from those tires, it's been very comfortable and quiet. I've really enjoyed the highway miles I've put on it as well.
I find it really relaxing. Like we said earlier, just a good daily. If you're driving to work every day on the highway, the traffic bumper to bumper with the radar cruise, which is full speed.
Yeah,
it comes to a stop and it accelerates without you doing anything. It makes it so nice because I was in the city all day furniture shopping. The traffic was horrible and I wasn't stressed out.
Yeah,
which made me enjoy the drive even more. I wasn't mad all day dealing with traffic. So just a really good day. I think BMW, you know, they make great cars, obviously.
We should talk too about the tech real quick, and the fact that kind of alongside of that, like even with the digital gauge cluster, you have everything with what you need for the adaptive cruise.
That reminds me of one more gripe I had. So I use the navigation a lot. I don't like how the map is white and your guidance is white as well. So I actually got lost 3 times because I was looking at this screen and it was all white on white, and it was hard for me to see which turn it was. I noticed as a driver, only look at your gauge cluster and heads up, because those show really good depictions of the roads, the roundabouts. This screen, they need to add some contrast to it, because that threw me off a few times. But I love how the nav is in the center screen there, which I found extremely helpful. I like BMW's tech. I know some people say they don't have as much as everyone else, which is true.
Jeez.
Mercedes, I think, has way too much. Like, configuring a million different screens, I think, is a gimmick, because that's just,
you're gonna set it and leave it.
This one, there's no configurating in that center screen, but you have your nav in the center. When your cruise control is on, that shows up. When your nav is actually running, all your turn-by-turn shows up. So it gives you what you need and nothing else. And
you have different configurations for the different driving modes too.
Yeah,
so you can make it look a little bit sporty depending on those modes.
I think and I talked with, a while ago filming a Beamer, a salesman guy was telling me about BMW's kind of philosophy. They don't want to give you too much clutter because they are driver's cars, you know, the ultimate driving machine.
They don't want the backlit either for driving at nighttime, because too much LED lighting, which is interesting because we have the ambient lighting package on here.
But it's just subtle.
But it's very subtle, yeah. They don't want that backlit for your brightness while you're driving at nighttime.
Yeah, straining your eyes.
Yeah.
So BMW, they are really good driver's cars. While, like, this isn't going to be as comfortable as a Mercedes, the competitor, but it's going to have more of that fun factor, I'd say.
Yeah.
And it's as comfortable and as luxurious as I would need it to be.
And it's just really simple to go through all the tech that is offered.
Yeah, I don't like all the crazy stuff, because I'm just not that tech person.
There's plenty of tech here. Yeah. It's just super simple to use and go through.
As far as build quality, I think, honestly, Beamers are pretty solid. This is all plastic, so maybe, you know, I'd like to see carbon fiber or maybe even real aluminum or something. But overall, though, I like the interior. I mean, the synthetic leather material on this particular spec was really nice. This was in my Supra. I mean, it's durable, it looks good, it feels good. Only other complaint, the seats are a little on the stiff side.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly they're a little flat on the base and the back. They don't really contour that well. I'm not saying they're bad.
No, they're definitely nice. I mean, for the highway miles we've put on it, but maybe a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, they could add something. This car is spec'd with manual seats, which I don't know why you would spec this without power seats.
A grand more, you can get them powered.
Yeah. But overall, I liked it. I liked driving it. I enjoyed it.
I think it's been fun.
You get the fun, you get the comfort, you get the tech. I can't really say any real complaints that would deter me from buying it. If I had to just buy a good solid daily that I can go to work every single day with, put the kids in the back, put stuff in the back, the hatchback design, you can do it all. And the fact that you have this crazy 6-cylinder with the all-wheel drive, you can put it in sport mode, you can tune it to 500 horsepower easy. This is a cool car, it really is. Put it on your list. Yeah. I think that's it then for today's video.
Yeah, I really like it. Aside from what we already went over with the complaints, I think it's been a really nice car. I love driving BMW, so really not too much to complain about.
So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video.